My name is Kiki Mikkelsen. I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm 32 years old. I started running in January of 2018. I was about a year into a weight loss journey. I had lost about 70 pounds and I had started working out with a personal trainer. And he asked me to do a warm-up jog for 10 minutes. And I said, well, I can't do that. I can't run for 10 minutes. I had never run a mile straight, even in school. I had not thought of myself in an athletic way, hated running. So I said, okay, whatever, I'll try it. I got to 10 minutes and I realized I was like pretty close to a mile. So I was like, I want to run a mile. I ran a couple more minutes. I think it was like maybe 14 minutes or something like that. And I had run a mile and I was like, holy shit. And I made a big Facebook status about it. And I was like, I ran a mile. I can't believe it. Just like amazed at myself and the things that I had thought that I couldn't do. And then that I could. And then a couple days later, I ran 2 miles. And then a couple days after that, I ran 3.1 miles. I ran a 5K on a treadmill, all on a treadmill. And then I signed up for the Brooklyn Half Marathon that May. So like 4 months away or something. I was like, I'm gonna run a half marathon. And then a runner friend of mine was like, you should do the lottery for the New York City Marathon. And I was like, why would I do that? That's crazy. And she's like, don't worry, nobody gets in. And then the day after I signed up for the Brooklyn Half was the lottery for the New York City Marathon. And I got in via lottery to the New York City Marathon. It was just sort of like off to the races, literally, no pun intended, from there. I ran the New York City Marathon that November, which was like 10 months after I ran my first mile. And it was the best. It was the best. Running was life-changing. It was mind-changing. It changed my body. It changed my perspective on myself. I finally learned and knew that I am capable of amazing things. Like a month after I ran my first marathon, I had skin removal surgery, loose skin removal surgery from my weight loss. And I had some complications from that surgery. Wasn't able to run for like 3 or 4 months, which was really, really hard because I had found this coping mechanism, this antidepressant, this tool that I wasn't allowed to use anymore. And then when I came back, running in 2019 just wasn't as easy. And it was incredibly frustrating to not be able to run as fast, not be able to run straight through. I just didn't have the same motivation. The magic of training for a distance for the first time is every time you go out there, it's like, oh my God, I can run 10 miles. Oh my God, the next weekend I can run 11 miles. That's so crazy. And then there was none of that anymore. It was just like, oh yeah, I have to run 16 miles. Ugh, so hard. So I ran the marathon in 2019, and then 2020, I was signed up for the Paris Marathon in April and the New York City Marathon again in November, both of which were canceled. And so I just kind of stopped running in 2020. And I think it was the best thing I could have done for the longevity of my relationship with running, because I had to really take a step back and figure out why I was doing it and unpack that a big part of it had to do with my weight. My whole life was working out, and that's not sustainable for me, and that's not happy for me. I had to figure out the difference between attainable weight and maintainable weight. I had to get okay with that and get okay with where my body is at and unpack and untangle running from weight loss. And I'm talking about it I've figured it all out, and I definitely have not. I'm working on it really actively. If I was never gonna lose another pound, would I wanna do this? And I had to take some time to not do it so I could come back and be yes, I'm doing this for other reasons. This does not have to do with my weight. But it's hard. It's really hard to untangle those things and untangle fitness and wanting to feel good in my body and move my body, because it's a blessing to have a body and a life. I've come a long way, but there's still so much up here about my value being attached to my weight. And even though I found a partner and got married, and even that didn't, I thought maybe that would silence these voices, and it didn't. The amount of time and energy that I have wasted, and that we all have wasted on thinking about this shit, is what could I have accomplished? And I'm just the buck stops here. I do not continue this. I do not teach this to any other person. I have to unlearn it so that I do not teach it, because we can't undercut a whole generation of people by telling them their bodies aren't good enough. We only get one. I wanted to run this half marathon because I felt ready for a training plan again. I felt ready to chase a goal. And I was like, sort of in the back of my mind, I was like, well, maybe we'll get to do a Brooklyn half this year, which is like my favorite race. We won't. It's been canceled officially. So yeah, I was like, I want to run a half marathon in May. I love it. It's fun. Spring training spring in New York is second only to fall in New York. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I mean, I like having a plan just because I like having a plan, but with the layer of like, I'm doing this because I want to do it. And I think something that I love that you keep saying is like, listen to your body. Like that's the most important thing. It's been like meeting myself again in a better way. Cause I'm like going on a run and like feeling great and getting outside and breathing the fresh air. And then I'm like coming home and I'm like eating normal food. It's been really nice. It's been really fun. I've been like singing and dancing and trying to run fast, which is something that I am really scared of. Like I've obviously gotten over the hump of like, I can run, but I have not gotten over the hump of I can run fast or fast for me, you know, it's like very scary. So that's something I'm trying to work on in this training is like getting over the fear of failure. Cause I know that I can run pretty much any distance if I do it slow enough, but I don't know how far I can go if I'm going fast. And it's really scary because I might fail because my goal is not just to finish. Like I've done that. Like I know I can run 13.1 miles, but I ran my very first half marathon in, I think it was like 2:26:01 or something like that. And I think I could run this at 2:35 is my goal. I think the last half marathon I ran was probably closer to 3 hours. So it's like paces I just haven't run for a couple of years, but I think I can do it. I think I really can do it. And if I could run a PR, that would be crazy. That'd be awesome, but we'll see. I'm excited to run a race, even without the thrill of the corrals and the porta potties and all of that. I'm excited to have a race day, to be like looking forward to a day and a run. That's so exciting. It's showtime. All of those feelings, I'm really excited for that. I'm excited to chase a goal and to do the work, to put in the work. I find that fun. I'm excited to like be hearing from and talking to people who are doing this for the first time. And I feel like I've now done this for a little while. And I think I have perspective that I haven't heard from a lot of people. Like there's not too many like fat runners. There are some, and like those people are awesome. And I like want, shout out all, Myrna, Valeria, and Latoya, but there's not that many. And so that I think is like important to like hear about and like be like, yeah, I'm not very fast and I'm not skinny and I am doing this anyway. Or not anyway, I'm doing this. And hopefully through talking to you, through like filming these videos, hopefully like there's somebody out there who can be like, when people have said to me many times over the last couple of years of this like journey, because I saw you do it, I thought that I could do it too. One time someone is like, is that offensive? And I was like, no, that's exactly what I like. That's why I talk about it at all, because it's true. It's literally true. If I can do it with all of these I'm not a natural. If I wanted to just do things I was a natural at, I would never run, but I get a lot of other things out of it. And I think that there's value in this, and there's value in just goal setting, and there's value in exercise and in finding yourself in your body. And so if I can do it, you can do it. It's true.